Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be talking about the larger macro view uptrend that Dogecoin is in. And you're talking about, hey Chris, the price of Doge is going down. It's like, well, yeah, short-term fluctuations, totally expected. The ETH ETF starting trading today. We'll take a look at that. We'll look at the price points, everything, all at levels that we had already identified as where Doge would be going. So we'll get into it. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We'll be live again Wednesday at 4 o'clock East Coast time. So join in as we look at the overall view of not only Doge, but what's happening with other altcoins, alts versus Bitcoin, and what is coming up with the Bitcoin conference. We'll be talking about that on Wednesday. But for now, we want to look at Doge, the recent price action, and how that looks in the overall view of Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, because Doge does play a part in all of that. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Yeah, so as I'm recording this, we're right about at that 13.2 level for Dogecoin. This was the yellow line we had placed in our during the live stream after the 13.6 in blue. That 13.6 was we were looking at possibly higher lows happening, and Dogecoin came down, was retesting that 13.6 level, but broke below it overnight, came back up, retested, and then broke lower. So that next level was what we had in yellow, was 13.2, which goes back to where Doge had been trading here on Sunday before we had the big run up to over 14 cents. If we look at the view zooming out, again, we're looking at an overall large wedge. Large wedge is still in play going towards the end of August. Again, looking at a macro view where we were bouncing off that descending orange line for that wedge. Could we revisit 13 cents, and could that 13 cent mark play out for the end of July as per my price prediction? We're still in that range as the price actually hit my white line here this morning. So overall, that's the view we have of Dogecoin. Looking at Bitcoin at 66.6, kind of doing the same thing, not quite as volatile as Doge. And ETH, again, after the run up pre-ETH ETF, this up and down action we see here on the 4-hour chart leads to what? Liquidations. Over 24 hours, $33 million in ETH and liquidations, $31 million in Bitcoin, and even $6 million in Dogecoin that we have. So on the large scale, this last one, the last ETH liquidation we had, as ETH dropped to $34.39, $747,000 liquidation. That's one liquidation that we had here, and overnight there was a $1.9 million liquidation on ETH. So again, both on the long and the short side, up and down for liquidations. Again, that is driving the volatility right now up and down until we can get a sustained move up or down in either direction. The big picture overall, again, this is a monthly view of Bitcoin with the halving lines here. Totally expected that we would have up and down action post-halving, like we did in 2020, like we did in 2016. Are we going to see this next big run up happen 2024 into 2025 like we had in 2020 and 2016? The 4-year patterns still in play. Overall, zooming in a little more on Bitcoin, we do have higher highs and higher lows on a larger macro scale happening with the price movement of Bitcoin. And we are only $8,000 away from a new all-time high. And there's all this big liquidity that's going to be up here between 72,000 and 74,000. those are where we're going to have also the big shorts. The big short positions are going to get liquidated. Once we get above 72K there, big time short squeeze could be happening at that level, which would lead to all-time highs, which would then lead to what we see as this big run up. This is what is building overall. So, Kaleo says, look, on ETH, the ETH is going to play out up and down. We could see, again, a drop in the ETH price that we could have below 3,000, maybe to 2,850 or so, sweep the range lows. Again, all of this on the volatility of the ETH ETFs before eventually moving up higher and then retesting all-time highs up over 5,000 for ETH. Price discovery is inevitable. That's what we'll be looking for going forward. Again, it's more on a macro view. Dogecoin soars as U.S. elections and Musk's support fuels a meme coin boom. Is Dogecoin soaring? Again, short term, we are seeing volatility, price down. But the long term outlook is good for Doge, poised for significant growth going forward. Recent spot ETH ETF approvals, whale accumulation should suggest an upcoming altcoin season, which will benefit Doge. Doge is in an uptrend overall. X payments, very exciting. 16 states left. And what do we have here? We've got Woto, Crypto Woto, saying Doge has perfectly made a textbook retest. So what he's looking at is he's looking at this lower, this trend line, this orange trend line, and he's saying, look, don't look at the bigger wedge that I have, but if you place this along the actual points that Dogecoin hit in May, June, and then what we just had in July, Dogecoin has actually broken through that up to 14 cents, is now coming back and retesting a downward resistance line. That retest could then lead to Doge taking off. So we can look at that more in detail during the live stream on Wednesday if you want. Overall, we talked about in the money. Somebody asked in the live stream on Monday what the percentage was of Doge holders that are in the money, and it's over 50%. In fact, it's nearly 78% of all Dogecoin wallets are in the green. So that is good. That is good overall. About 18% in the loss, and I know some of you are still waiting for Doge's price to come up and hit a certain point. Of course, you can always DCA at lower prices, bring your average down, because we are still in that accumulation zone period of the overall bull market on the Dogecoin level. So what are the key levels to watch? Well, Altcoin Sherpa says, look, if we snap our fib lines, so far, Dogecoin's price movement has been perfect in terms of bottoms and pullbacks. So this move down to the 0.78 fib in the 9s, we hit that. Were you buying on that dip there on July 4th when we hit the 9s? And then we came up, retested the 0.1225, came up, touched the 0.5 at 1427, and are now waiting for that next move. Again, this is looking at zoomed out level. This uptrend we see here was totally predicted on the fib retracements. And Rec Capital says, look, if you zoom out even more on the monthly view and you go back to 2021, you can see this downward trend line on the monthly. In March, we came up above it and have come back and retested that line on the monthly view in both June and July. And now we are in that uptrend for the month. The month is in the green. We could be moving up higher. So Dogecoin broke the macro downtrend months ago. And since then, Doge has been successfully retesting the macro downtrend as support on a monthly basis. Successful retest here would fully confirm the end of the macro downtrend, beginning of a new macro uptrend, which we would see, again, mimicking where the overall price could go on a new upward trend. So that's the overall view we have. Again, Dogecoin at 13.2 right now. And I get some of you saying, look, Dogecoin price going down. Yeah, this is up and down action. Again, taking out some leverage as price dips happen. Dogecoin just touching 12.98 here on a dip. But somebody was buying there. Somebody was picking up Doge at 12.98 cents because Doge came right back up. That wick there just shows Dogecoin buying happening at that level and Doge coming right back up. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this overall thesis of the macro uptrend, but are you worried about the short-term volatility? Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.